Hello everyone and welcome to our tutorial on the Shopware 6 integration of PHPUnuhi. So I assume you're already familiar with the system, so let's check out the documentation and go to the part of the Shopware 6 storage format. So the Shopware 6 integration allows us to basically use any entity, so any entity that has the underscore translations table, and automatically use all features and functionalities of PHPUnuhi. All I need is to provide the database credentials using the PHP end variables, and then just add any translation set using entities. So I do have a local MySQL instance running. I have SQL Ace connected to it because we need it to check it out later. There's an existing storefront as well as the administration that we can also see. Let me switch to PHP Storm. So I do have an existing XML configuration of PHPUnuhi, and it already has the PHP env part with database credentials for our local database. If I scroll down, you see that I already have some translation sets. So let's start with categories. I do have the format using categories as well as my locals of my Shopware 6 instance. In addition to this, I have a make file, but that one's only to help me show you something. It of course uses the PHP bin console commands of PHPUnuhi. So we have the CSV export, the JSON export that just uses the built-in CLI arguments format. So if I run it, make CSV, as you can see, I already have a .exports folder and all my category CSV are created. And you can see all kinds of properties of our categories inside, so custom fields, name, link type. If I run make JSON, I do get the same in a JSON format. So now I have everything from Shopware in either a CSV or a JSON export file. So let's close this one and let me show you how to get rid of all these properties that we just don't need. There's the option to use filters. With filters, you can provide an allow list, and let's only take the name for our categories export. So I rerun the make CSV as well as the make JSON, and this time I only have the name of the category exported in both files, so also in the JSON. It's time to translate something. So in the storefront, we have clothing and free time electronics. So let's go to our CSV file and search for the name. So I found it, and let me just add a couple of 2-digit numbers to it. If we check out the make file, you see there's a make import command that already wraps all these import files for it. So categories, products, and other stuff of our sample. So if I run the make import and provide the CSV file, it also, with all the other files, imports the categories that we were just editing. So if I refresh, you see immediately that the 2 digits were added correctly in the database. Let's do the same thing for the JSON file. So let me search for the free time electronics and add something else like the 555. I run make import. This time I use the JSON format. I refresh the website and you can see it's also working for JSON, not just the CSV file. So I've mentioned this works for all entities with an underscore translation, such as the state machine statement. There's no option, for instance, to somehow translate that in the Shopware 6 administration. So if I open the CSV or JSON, you see we have canceled, we have shipped all these entries available to automatically translate using export and imports of PHPUnuhi. Let's search for a good one, like the pending one. That one's good. So let me append 666 to it. I rerun the make import using the JSON format, and afterwards let me open the database for you so you can see it. That's the best one for now. So state machine, state translation, and pending 666. There we have it. So also this works perfectly using the Shopware 6 integration. That will work for the state machine as well as, everything that has an underscore translation, speaking of entities. So this is how it actually works, and you can, in combination with this approach, with this storage format, use all these different features of PHPUnuhi with your Shopware 6 instance. Let me show you how it works with products. Especially with products, we might want to exclude things as custom fields, custom search keywords, because these are properties we just don't want to translate in our case. There's also the JSON file available. So let's search for a main product with advanced prices, or let me show you the, so that's the catalog product overview in the administration. Yeah, maybe let's go with the main product itself. So it should be somewhere, there we have it. So let me just append 777. I do a rerun, I'll make import command using the JSON format, and everything's imported. If I refresh, I will immediately see main product 777 in the administration. So it also works for products. I could even, as mentioned, do any other command such as make status, which is the PHPUnuhi status command that gives us coverage values about every single translation set, such as categories, which are 100% translated. And if I search the products one, that's only 33%. That translations do exist for all products. If I validate using validation command, I see that quite a lot, speaking of the products, is missing translation values. So we have already seen that in the coverage values. A different way to export things besides CSV or JSON is some kind of HTML report. So that is only a single HTML file with JavaScript, HTML, CSS that you can easily open in your browser. And yeah, you could just start editing in some kind of spreadsheet form. So there's a safe translation where you can export a file, import it again, and just imagine having a cron job or post-deployment thing, creating a /snippets URL on your staging system. You would always, after every deployment, see the current status of your translations ready to be maintained. So that's it for the Shopware 6 integration. Thank you so much for watching. And if you enjoy PHPUnuhi, give it a star on GitHub and have a wonderful day.